Kana. They find Spock's pod and signs of life, and after much cajoling, Savick and David Marcus convince the captain to let them go down and look at it, for science. They find the tube covered with little rubber things that evolved from microbes on the tube's surface, and inside Spock's empty burial robe. Genesis is kind of like a Swiss Army knife. You see, one setting will create new planets, one forces germs to evolve, another turns dead bodies into children. Probably even has the power to make McDonald's not taste like shit. At this point, let me tell you what has been causing the grief of this film. It's average. What I mean by that is pretty much all its aspects. Average, neither good nor bad. This gets to the point where everything has almost a neutral tone to it, as beige a movie as the Enterprise's repainted turbolift. So it's no surprise we get an average drink scene followed by a tepid bit of exposition, interrupted by a pointless mind meld scene to establish Kirk leaping to a bit of vanilla action. The mind meld scene in particular is a stumbling point. It needlessly repeats the scene already shown at the beginning. If you meld it and they didn't actually speak, it would have worked fine, but by repeating all the words, it serves as a needless reminder. It's one thing to have a mantra that's ultimately played out, like, for instance, in Highlander, the repeated phrase, "there can be only one," is not just a slogan for a poster, but has repercussions in the nature of the relationship between immortals, a warning that they may need to cooperate against a common enemy, but also a reminder that such an alliance cannot last forever, culminating in the final moment when there truly is only one. Such a phrase serves as a reminder and can be used to retain theme or reflect different shades of meaning. But here, the words spoken are not the theme, but just saying them again, wearing them out. Anyway, there's been a confusion in that Spock's body was left on Genesis and pisses Sarek off, because it should have been brought back to Vulcan. He assumes Spock's katra, defined as all that is not of the body, so that you can interpret it as soul, the sum of knowledge, experiences, whatever, was given to Kirk. But when he does the meld, he sees it isn't. I love Kirk's expression during this, too. It's got that feeling of quiet discomfort I think all of us would have if someone was just digging through our brains. Aha, let me see. You smothered your great-grandmother. Well, she was old. Let's see, you frequently masturbated and then hit your fingers. All right, well, I just won't shake her hand anymore. You like to meet the Spartans. Well, you are one diseased brain, aren't you? No wonder my son didn't keep his copy. So they rush to the ship's library to get their copy of Star Trek II out, and sure enough, they see Spock melding with phones and saying, "Remember," and thus have figured out what's happened. So Sarek tells them to bring them both to Vulcan, meaning the body too. And this is one of the stumbling points of the movie, as the reason for Spock's body going to Vulcan is never actually stated. Now, we know why looking back, because we need to bring Spock back in body. But these guys, generally speaking, don't actually physically raise the dead all that often. Even the Vulcan from the stand chair at the end of the movie admits that restoring a katra to a living being is the stuff of legends, never mind a dead one. And exactly how happy is Spock going to be when they put him back inside of a body that's been distorted by radiation? And that's the best case scenario. Just imagine what has happened since it has entered the atmosphere and crashed into the surface of the planet. They're going to put his katra back in there, he'll open his eyes, and then begin screaming for them to please kill him again. Anyway, so I don't see what exactly is the point to going to Genesis based upon what they already know. And what is Kirk's motivation, after all?
Don't have to. A mind shuttling. But if there's even a chance that Spock has an eternal soul.
Now that eternal soul would be the katra that's inside McCoy. So, what the hell? Don't tell me it's some kind of ritualistic thing, because that's not why he says he's going. It's for Spock's soul, which he already has, and he's going to go get a body where the soul ain't. Isn't that like trying to break into a jewelry shop to get an empty box because you are seeking a watch you already have on your wrist? In any event, Kirk's mind is made up. They're going to search the hell out of Spock. So the commander of Starfleet tells Kirk he cannot go to Genesis under any circumstances. So Kirk leaves and promptly tells Sulu and Chekhov that he's going anyway, and they unhesitatingly join him, knowing that they'll be destroying their careers if they do so. Do let this point simmer in the back of your mind. Anyway, we soon see McCoy heading into a bar, so it must be time for breakfast. Once inside, he runs into this guy. Maybe he's an alien, but I see less normal people behind the counter selling scratch-offs. He argues with the guy.
My name not important?
Yoda's retarded cousin, where he learned English by reading online forums. McCoy wants to hire this guy to take the Genesis, but doesn't want to tip his hand too soon.
Price name. Money I got. Place you name. Money I name. Otherwise bargain. No.
Listen to him. You can actually hear him talk in all lowercase with misspelled words. When Bones finally reveals their destination, the alien flips on the caps lock and they get interrupted.
Greetings, I'm Lando Calrissian, administrator of this facility.
He's Federation security, and when the Vulcan nerve pinch fails, Bones is hauled off to lockup. Kirk soon shows up and breaks him out, along with a little help from Sulu, who does some judo on this guy and then blows up the console with a sonic screwdriver.
Don't go, Tiny.
What the? Stop, thief! Meanwhile, we find Uhura at transporter control, paired with a guy known only as Mr. Adventure, and remains the most unconvincing performer of this entire movie. I swear, he was supposed to appear in West Side Story and wound up on this set by mistake, because he reads all his lines like he's about ready to throw down or possibly dance.
Yeah, well, maybe that's okay for someone like you, whose career is winding down. But me, I need some challenge in my life, some adventure, maybe even just a surprise or two.
And that, of course, is when the door bursts open, and, wouldn't you know it, in come the jets. They get on the transporter pads, and Mr. Adventure's not too sure, so Uhura pulls a phaser on him and tells him to get into the closet, as there will be definitely no throwing down and no dancing, which then prompts Kevin Bacon to walk in. Eventually, they all arrive on Enterprise, where Chekhov quickly wins the worst outfit of the movie award. It's some kind of lavender cross between a jogging suit Ken doll and a pilgrim. Scotty's rigged up automation systems on the ship so that they can do some limited flying without a full crew, and the group begins to steal the Enterprise. To show how awe-inspiring this moment is, we see this from the point of view of the janitor. That's something most movies are good enough to consider. Cried me, I lift my mop and bucket on there for great sakes. They get out, pursued by the Excelsior, and Miguel Fur? War. It's fantastic. Unfortunately, Scotty's put some sugar in the Excelsior gas tank, so Enterprise quickly warps away.
Gentlemen, your work today has been outstanding. I intend to recommend you all for promotion, in whatever fleet we end up serving.
Meanwhile, in The Day After Tomorrow, Roland Emmerich is shitting all over the laws of physics. Savick and David come across the young Spock and then wrap him up in his own burial robes to be comfortable. They contact Grissom to beam him up, but the captain's unsure.
All the same, I'm going to advise Starfleet to get instructions.
I'm sure Starfleet would approve, sir.
Probably true, but let's do it by the book.
By the book. You have something in the book to cover what to do if you come across a dead officer resurrected as a small child. Just admit you're a big pussy who wants to cover his ass. While Grissom tries to inform Starfleet, Krug arrives and tries to take the ship intact, so his gunner naturally blows it all up. Krug's not happy, saying the gunner is poo, and the gunner calling him a cock.
Come on, fool! Jump in there! But stop! Stop!
As you can see, that kind of dirty talk is intolerable in this script. One of his less dirty-mouthed officers points out that there are people on the surface, so they head down to the casket, where the rubber toys have now become gigantic versions of what I think is gingivitis based on my dental background, which consists of mouthwash commercials. Well, Krug decides, for no reason at all, to pick one up and play a game to see who can strangle who first. Nice work, Krug. Way to keep that worm in line. Savick then confronts David about the planet, and he reveals that he used proto-matter to help make Genesis work, something apparently dangerous. This leads to another thing that doesn't make any sense.
How many have paid the price for your impatience? How many have died? How much damage have you done? And what is yet to come?
Well, strictly speaking, none. Proto-matter in Genesis hasn't caused anyone to die. The only deaths have been because of people who wish to misuse Genesis. How it was created has nothing to do with that desire to use it as a weapon. That's a key point people seem to be missing, that there's no connection between the means he used to create the device and how he misuse it.
I love you, Elizabeth. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice night. I love you, babe.
The next one
Bye-bye.
we'll discuss a little bit about how small things can have huge consequences.